Hi, and welcome back to the Harri and Marcus video show. And today we are going to go, in fact, who was it who died yesterday?
Jerry Moss.
Jerry Moss died yesterday from A&M Records.
VM from A&M Records.
So we're going to give you 5 of our favourite A&M singles and 3 of our 5 favourite A&M albums. And this is the Harri and Marcus Podcast. Right, so who wants to start? Do you want to start, shall I?
I don't mind. I'd be interested to hear yours. Mine are in no particular order. It's just 5 singles. It's not a 1 to 5.
I'll start with one, and I hope I don't overlap you. But it's a song that my mother used to like. All of mine are based on the 70s and reminding me of Delver and the Mean Machine or my mother. It's all memories. So this one is Herb Alpert, and This Guy's in Love with You. Like, great song. I've always loved this song. She used to love it. And when Terry Hall sadly died, I think about a year ago now, I was looking up stuff by him online, and I found he'd done a version of it, which is great as well. I'm trying to think what I can say about this song. It's
Backrack, how David.
Is it? Oh, right. Well, I didn't know that. As you can tell, dear listeners, we're doing this off the top of our heads, and I've got particularly no knowledge of who wrote what and who did what, but it's just a great song. It's just, I think I read somewhere once that it's one of Noel Gallagher's favourite songs. Yeah. It's just a really good song.
Noel Gallagher, is he any relation to Noel Rodgers?
Yeah, and he's the cousin of Noel Gallagher of Oasis. Yeah, and as what I was going to say, that this particular show, we would normally be holding up records and singles and things, but in this mess around me, I've got singles there, singles in the cupboard, singles in the bedroom. So I know I've got this single, but I don't know where it is. So in lieu of holding up,
I've got it, but it's about 100 miles away.
Oh, right. Well, in lieu of that, I'm going to hold up a copy of my latest record, which is Harri Sings Milliken and Nesbitt, which is available in any good shops. From any
not in a proper. Was that a promo?
That was a promo of Rock and Roller Coaster by Linda Lewis.
Oh, I thought you said it was. It was Milliken and Nesbitt.
No, I was joking. I was saying it was Harri Sings Milliken and Nesbitt. I was making a joke that I brought out a record.
Oh, right.
But if you didn't get it, no one else is going to get it.
Up a really cool single.
No. So anyway, that was my first choice. My first single, Herb Alpert. And what's yours?
Right, let's call up my list and see if I can see it. Right. Shall I go from the top or from the bottom? Because mine aren't in any, like you, they're not in any particular order. It's just 5 songs that I think are good. Right, my first one's Elkie Brooks.
Oh, right. That surprised me because I didn't think you were a big Elkie fan.
I'm a huge Elkie Brooks fan. Huge Elkie Brooks fan. And it was a choice between 2, but I've gone with Pearl's as singer.
Great song.
Because after much looking on eBay and everything, I finally managed to get hold of the picture sleeve for it, which was nice to get. But it was between 2 songs, Pearl's singer or Don't Sing Out Loud.
Oh yeah.
Which, I like the end of no that song when she goes for it at the end. But I always hated Pearl's as singer at the time because it's a song that Terry Wogan pushed on Radio 2. I had a bigger version to that, and it's only recently I've actually started, since I've been collecting the top 20, I've actually started listening to these songs. I thought that's an amazing song. I saw the video for it with the guy playing piano on it, and it's a great story in the song, and it's a great video. It's a cover version, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't remember who did it originally, but I know it's a cover version.
We did a show with this in it before, and we
I
see
do.
it.
Do you talking to Terry Wogan? I watched a video when we're doing our normal digressing, but I watched a video on YouTube of the worst Top of the Pops performances, and in the top 3 was Terry Wogan singing the Floral Dance, and I really, it was so awful. I can't believe that was ever on Top of the Pops. It was just absolutely atrocious. But that's digressing.
Yeah.
My next one is Extreme, More Than Words.
Okay.
I like the song, and I got into listening to the band via Queen, because when Freddie died, Brian May said that the first band they chose for the Freddie Mercury tribute concert was Extreme, because Extreme were the one band that really got what Queen were about, and Freddie loved Extreme, so I thought, I'll give them a listen. And I just really like More Than Words. I've got a couple of 12 inches by me, I can't remember what they're called, and they're quite good, but they're much heavier, much rockier. But the guy who plays guitar is a really good guitarist, and he's a really good vocalist. But they never, I don't know how big they were in America, but they never really seemed to take off over. I think that was maybe their only hit over here. I'm not sure.
No, they had 2.
All right.
Yeah.
But
that is a slower follow-up. I can't remember what the original was, but it was a bit rockier, their first one.
Yeah,
I'll be totally wrong now. Said he's going to have loads of comments criticising Marcus for just saying stuff off the top of his head, but I'm sure they had 2, and the other one was rockier.
Well, I've got, as I say, I've got 2 or 3 12 inches by them, and they're all rockier. And I have got a 12 inch by them that's has Brian May on the B-side. I think they're actually doing a version of Queen's Love of My Life. I'm not sure, I can't remember.
Nice.
But I brought it from my Queen collection, and then lost it somewhere, lost amongst all my records. Anyway, that's my number 2. What's your number 2?
My one is, when I called it up again, Supertramp, Dreamer. I
knew you were going to choose that.
Yeah.
It came on in the car the other week, and you were saying how great you thought the song was.
Yeah, it's amazing, but it's my first real encounter with stereo. On this system, it was great. One speaker and another, and you used to go across you, and it's just amazing. It's just a really brilliant song. Brilliant recording, everything. Amazing song.
Like everything in life, I was really late getting it. I brought it 2 years after it came out. I brought it in '77 from Harrods. I was up there with
all right, okay.
With Leslie. She wanted to go there to get something, and I wanted to buy a record from there, and I chose Supertramp because I didn't have it. But I was only 2 years too late.
Or did you get Crime of the Century?
I didn't get Crime of the Century, no. I might have had it at one
single,
point.
Yeah? Okay.
I bought the single, yeah.
Cool. Okay.
But yeah, great single, and like you say, brilliant to listen to on headphones.
Yeah.
My next one is, my next 2 are both from the mid-70s, and both because they remind me of a classic rock band called The Mean Machine and of Delver. The first one is Gallagher and Lyle, I Want to Stay With You.
Okay.
It used to be on all the time. It was on Top of the Pops. It was on the radio. She liked it. I don't think it was a song. I don't think the rest of you liked it that much. You might have done. I can't remember. But it wasn't something that we used to sort of play in the car. I seem to think in the car we only had 2 tapes, and me, Alice Cooper, and I can't remember what the other one was. But in Ren Trying Peril, he had Welcome to My Nightmare, and he had some other tape. I can't remember. And he used to just play the 2 tapes all the time. But
that sounds like him.
Daisy
he had no taste in music.
Yeah, Daisy for making up. I don't know why one of us didn't just make up a mixtape. We had record players, but I think. But anyway, Gallagher and Lyle, they were, they had a good history, but they were McGuinness Flint.
Yeah.
And
Graham Lyle, I think, is writing stuff now.
All right.
Lots of hit singles now. He's writing with people.
But great pop song, and brings back brilliant memories for me of that hot summer of '75 or '6. I'm not sure which year it was now. but it was that one of those hot summers. But brings you on to number 3.
Yeah. What have I got for number 3? Right. Peter Frampton.
Yeah.
Baby, I'd Love Your Way.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The live version.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the other ones are all right, but I don't know, just it's really something about A&M. I think it's the type of music they do. There's a lot of mellow, not easy listening, but not really on the rockier side, is it?
No.
But you know, I like it.
Frampton was FM rock, wasn't it? It was like brilliant for the FM rock stations in America.
Never heard Frampton Comes Alive. Never ever.
I've never heard the whole album, no. But
No.
I did read in an interview that he left this country with debts of something like I don't know, £20,000, and within 2 years he was a multi-millionaire, and then within 5 years he was bankrupt again.
Yeah,
But so it goes, and then in the 80s he became bass guitarist for the Glass Spider Tour. But great song.
He's still around now. He always appears on This Morning, or Good Morning Britain, is it, or whatever the morning one's called.
I'm still sleeping there on, but I think
I've seen him on there a couple of times when talking about music. But the other one would have been Show Me the Way. But I just really like that song. Was that the one that that reggae version came out in the night? Big something. The singer had dreadlocks.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah.
But that hated by a lot of people. But I like that because I like the song. I thought it was an all right version of it. But a lot of people hate it. But
I've just had a reminder come up telling me something's finishing on eBay, so I hope it doesn't appear on the screen. Anyway, it'll be an embarrassment because it's an ABBA record. You just saying that you didn't choose Show Me the Way has made me glad that I chose 10 instead of 5, so I could dip into Show Me the Way was going to be my next song. So instead of Show Me the Way, I'm going to go for The Straws and Lay Down.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which reminds me of when I started buying records. I didn't have very many records, and I always remember this one because the B-side was a pastiche of Ziggy Stardust and Spiders from Mars. It was
called, yeah.
It was called something like Ziggy Bile Dust and the Whales from Venus or something. And then I found out the Straws were from our area, from Strawberry Hill and everything, and it was a great song. I had heard other songs by them on the radio, which I didn't think too much of. They were sort of like too folky for me. But I really quite like Lay Down, and I like Part of the Union. And I think that's my Straws history in the record.
Yeah.
But Lay Down was a great record.
Yeah, Lay Down. Wasn't too keen on that sort of like part of the Union. Although you're never sure if it's actually supporting the union movement or it's a piss take.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both, to be honest.
Yeah.
When you listen to Hudson Ford's singles after they left the Straws, like Burn Baby Burn, they were very part of the unionish. So that's the sort of poppy, bouncy stuff they did, and it probably was a bit of a piss take.
Yeah. Anyhow, anyway, do you want my next one now?
You're number 4, yeah?
Yeah. My number 4 is, well, had to be in there somewhere, even more laid back. Even more laid back. The Carpenters.
Right.
Close to you.
Yeah.
Someone had to put it in there. Great song. Great intro. Great singing while she's playing drums.
Yeah. She had an amazing voice, and it's a very sad ending to a great singer, but she was brilliant, and they
don't
weren't
really like much else Actually, I was by him, but that's.
Didn't you like Goodbye to Love?
Guitar solo was all right in it. The song's just normal, not particularly. I don't really like anything by Carpenters apart from this song.
Yeah. Hello, Doyle.
Hello, you come to join us? Come on.
You can actually get him on screen this week.
Yeah, come on, Doyle. No, he's not coming out. Anyhow, anyway, that's also had to be in there.
Yeah, it did indeed. So it brings me to my number 5, which was a record that I loved in, I think it was 1973. And I hope no, hang on. Sorry. We're going to have a quick, because I've just realised when I looked at my list of A&M artists, these were on A&M in America, not England. Well, I have a choice of 2. One is terribly embarrassing, and one is not quite as embarrassing. So I'm going to go for the one that's terribly embarrassing.
Valdovia.
No, even worse.
Oh.
It's a record that Delva again really liked because her father used to play it when he used to do the Bang & Olufsen exhibitions, and it's Murray Head, Someone's Rocking My Dreamboat.
Oh yeah.
And it's an awful record, but it brings back so many records.
It's not rocking your dreamboat then.
No, but it does bring back an awful lot of memories. And I mean, did he have that thing off the Chess album, One Night in Bangkok?
He had a thing from the Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah.
There.
But this one wasn't exactly, especially in 1975, when we were all walking around with long hair and denim waistcoats and in the status quo and everything. Someone Rocking My Dreamboat wasn't the sort of thing that I'd have been walking around telling everyone that I liked. And I'm truthfully saying I don't actually like it now, but I do like it because I've got.
That's a point of some stuff. Then it brings back.
Yeah,
I mean, all these singles.
All my Jerry Monroe singles remind me of my mother.
For me.
Yeah, I mean my Jerry Monroe singles, I could play every single one, and they're bloody awful. The way he yodels on them and everything, but they bring back memories of my mum, so they're great.
Yeah.
And your number 5?
My number 5 is Bill Withers, Lean on Me.
Of course, yeah, never thought of that.
Yeah. No, great song. I've got all 5 of my singles in vinyl, so that's good. But that's a great song.
Anything you can think of?
He wasn't always with A&M. He did songs with what was the label he was on, but this is definitely on.
This is definitely on A&M.
Yeah, so,
I'm trying to think. I can't remember now. I'm trying. In fact, I'm having really. I was just going to say I'm having trouble thinking of another hit by him, but Lovely Day, of course.
That was Epic, was it, or something?
Epic, yeah, I think so.
Epic,
yeah.
Was it? I think.
Yeah.
Might be wrong. Remember it being on a yellow label, but anyhow.
Isn't Lovely Day the longest held note on a song or something? Or used to be.
According to some journalist.
Yeah,
I've not seen any factual list of the top 10 longest held notes. Have you ever seen that?
No, but I did try once to sing along with Lovely Day to see if I could match it, and I got about halfway through before I puffed out.
I'm sure Ella Fitzgerald or someone like that could hold a note quite a long time if they ever did one in a recording. I'm sure there's some classical singers who held a note for ages. That's another one just coming out saying something with no.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Right. So now we are on to the albums, and my first album is I was going to choose a Bryan Adams single, but I'm choosing Reckless by him as an album because in the 80s I was working at Olive Tree. I was heavily into Springsteen. I loved Born in the USA album. And everyone was saying that he was the Canadian Springsteen. So I brought Reckless, the album, and on 3D. And I used to play it in the car. And I loved it. It was, Run to You and Summer of '69 and I can't remember some of the other tracks now, but you know, it's just a great album.
Nice guy as well, apparently.
Nice
guy as well, apparently.
Is he? Is he horrible? All right.
No one says anything good about him, but I don't know. I've never met the guy, but
I basically brought his next album and hated it, and brought a couple of singles by him in the 90s that were okay. But this album just reminds you of that period, which was the last job I did before I took hiatus to become a house husband and look after Dee. But it was, album brings back lots of memories of working in a warehouse and all the shenanigans that go on when you're working in a warehouse, working in a warehouse that imports terracotta pots. You'd be walking along and suddenly a 10-inch flower pot would go flying past your head because someone's lobbed it at you from the top of a rack or something. And one bloke was mucking about on the forklift, showing off that he could do it with no hands, and he drove straight to the storeroom wall. And unfortunately, got sacked.
Who would that be?
That was Paul Milner. It wasn't me, actually. I was nothing to do with that particular shenanigan. And what's your first album?
And my first album is it's probably musically and stuff. It's not anywhere near it, but for memories and stuff at the time, I was really into it at the time, and I read about it and the earlier album that it came from, and it was quite hip at the time. And one of the only guitarists to use a trampoline on stage.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Niels Lofgren, Cry Tough.
Yeah.
Saw him live, didn't we?
We did, yeah, and the old trampoline, yeah.
Hammersmith, and he did his solo and did the flip over with the trampoline, and I just loved the album at the time. I've not heard it. I played something last night. It's For Your Love and Cry Tough and stuff like it. It's part of the album. It's not a great album, but he's been, he plays his Springsteen still.
I was just about to say, all the people we're talking about, like Frampton and him, have all ended up in other people's bands, like Frampton in Barry's band, him in Springsteen's band. They also, after their own careers petted out, they went on and played in other big artist bands.
He's a great guitarist, and the push there. I mean, he had a top 20 album here with Cry Tough. So obviously, for someone who had no history here at all, to have the top 20 album.
Did you have a single?
No.
Right.
No hit single or anything, but the album just took off at another time.
Yeah.
Mainly down to a trampoline.
Did we see him headlining or supporting?
He must have been supporting because they were playing in front of the curtain, if I recall.
I'm trying to think who he was supporting. He wasn't AC/DC anymore, was it? No.
I couldn't see him supporting AC/DC.
No.
Could have been Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, it might be Thin Lizzy. Yeah. Right. My next one is a band you've already chosen, or an act you've already chosen. The Carpenters' Gold 69 to 73 album. My mother loved it.
Yeah.
She played that album until the stylus wore through to the other side of the record. I mean, I knew every fucking syllable of Goodbye to Love and Yesterday Once More.
And my favourite song by him, Sing. What a lovely song that is. Not.
I mean,
my uncle came over from Canada and took us all out to a Chinese restaurant in Richmond, but it was it's a massive one, and it had a cabaret band playing
right.
with a woman singer, and I still remember them doing Sing. And it nearly put me off my food. It's horrible.
I mean,
the way it's sung and everything.
Going back to memories, they did an awful version of Please Mr. Postman, a really middle of the road version, but I really like it because it came out in 75 when I was going at Dover, and the band had just started, and it reminds me of the Mean Machine.
You owe a lot to her for your musical taste.
Oh yeah, and the Mean Machine.
You do mention her quite a bit, mate.
Her and the Mean Machine.
Yeah.
If we were going on to Rack Records, there'd be loads of Mud and Racy and not Racy, Mud and Kenny and all sorts of people in this thing. Susie, yeah. But yeah, that's my so your next album choice?
Yeah, my next album choice is, which might surprise you, is one of the most wonderful albums ever. Is Gallagher and Lyle Breakaway.
Oh right, yeah.
Amazing. I had the tape of it. It's playing in my car all the time. I should play the first 3 tracks and then rewind it and play the first 3 tracks again. Breakaway is an amazing song done by Art Garfunkel. Didn't he do a cover version of it?
He did a cover version of it as
and
Brian Ferry did a cover of
myself of Heart on My Sleeve and Brian Ferry's version of that. Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, I was just about to say your favourite version, your favourite cover version by Brian Ferry.
Oh, but it's just for those 3 singles. But Breakaway is just magical. It's wonderful song. And the thing is, there's a lot of other acts which neither of us have surprisingly mentioned at no moment. I don't know what your last album is, but you'd think, why aren't they in there? Can I start mention a couple of these? The Police, Squeeze, great bands. I used to play them all the time back then, but I haven't played a track by the Police or Squeeze for 20 years. Just don't play it. But I play Gallagher and Lyle. Is that an age thing or whatever? I'm not dissing the Police or Squeeze.
Well, going on to my last choice, my last choice is Atlantis to More, and that is solely
into that now.
Well, that is solely because that came out in '79 when the Mean Machine morphed into Havoc, and I remember Alex loving the first Police album and absolutely loathing the second one when it came out. He liked Message in a Bottle, and he said the rest was just pure garbage, and he wouldn't even listen to it. And I always remember.
How did he know it's garbage?
He brought it in first day it came out because he thought it was going to be like the first album, and he gave it to me. He thought it was terrible. He thought it was absolutely awful. Message in a Bottle was great, but everything else was absolutely crap. And they'd sold out and they'd gone commercial and everything else. And but they made enough money selling out and going commercial.
Sting was singing the praises of Jerry Moss in Billboard.
Oh, was he?
I think saying how influential he was for the Police in making them big. Yeah.
There's that famous story, isn't there, that they played that club in America and only 3 people or 6 people were there, but they decided to put on a show as if 600 were there, and they really gave it their all. And one of the people in the audience was an A&R man, and supposedly picked them up. I don't know if he was the A&M A&R man, but the motto of the story is don't just because you've only got a few people in the audience go out and put a half-hearted show on. Still play your heart out. However many you got in the audience. Yeah.
We never did. Yeah.
But we had a different strategy though. I mean, when we played Washington Road, we locked the doors so no one could get out.
Yeah.
But we went down well with that rugby club. But Outlanders to More. It's another album that I probably wouldn't play now. You're right. If I think back to it, I mean, if I heard, I don't know, Can't Stand Losing You or Roxanne, I'd listen to it if it was on the radio, but I wouldn't hunt it out and play it. But I definitely wouldn't sit down and play the album now in the house. But it just brings back a lot of memories of that particular time. You're right. You're right. Okay. Cool. I mean, I was playing.
I love the Police back then. We were mad on the Police. When we were working together, you know, whatever it is, we were both going, that should be the next single. You know, single is a great song, and being really into and stuff. But I just don't play them. I've got.
Same as you said about Squeeze. I mean, I heard Call for Cats on one of those compilation albums, and I didn't skip it. I sang along.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go out and hunt it down and play it. Have you got that on pink vinyl for your collection?
I can't remember. I'll have to check me list. I think I must have, because I only bought
probably
recently, so I'm pretty sure it'll be Pink Vinyl.
So that was my third album, wasn't it? So this is your last album.
Yeah, well, this is an album that got me through the 70s. I had many.
I know what you're going to say.
Many a sad night
I know what you're going to
on
say.
my own and turning the lights, because I had a lovely dimmer switch in my room, so I could dim it down, turn me banging Olufsen on, and put on this album, and just drift away, sort of thing. And
you were always a big Crankies fan.
What?
Said you were always a big Crankies fan.
Yeah, but Joan Armour Trading, and first album is well, I don't know what people think about it. It was just a sound of the guitar and stuff. Love and understanding.
I mean, that is probably one of the greatest sort of, how do I put it? Not love songs, but the greatest opening two lines to a song of someone that's sort of like looking for love. I am not in love, but I'm open to persuasion. They're just great two opening lines of a song. It's a brilliant song. And sort of.
Is it? No, down to the ground. What's
down to zero.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what it is now.
Down to zero.
Yeah.
Is it? God, I'll put it as me top album. Oh, I haven't played it for ages, but I can't remember. It's one of her singles, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, she did some quite upbeat songs like "Drop the Pilot," but "Love and Affection" is still such a great single. Yeah, "Love and Affection" is such a great single. It is one of the classic love songs of the 70s. And now, I suppose, as we said, we were going to do some honorary mentions, and you're going to probably have a lot more than me, because looking down my list, most of my... Oh, hang on, I've got a list on the other page. Give us a couple of your honorary mentions.
I haven't got a lot of honorary mentions because I forgot to carry on my list, but the big one, obviously, is, from my point of view, you had a song by him, but from me, it was really difficult not to put Herb Alpert on my lists. There's an old list, Spanish Flea.
Spanish Flea.
The Happening. Tijuana Taxi. Good one we used for backing on some of our tracks. Some of our shows, weren't it? So he's got all loads of great tracks.
I'm not saying any of these people are people I would have necessarily chosen records from. It's just when I was going down Wikipedia's list of A&M artists, they're artists that I jotted the names down of: Joan Baez, Sheryl Crow, Delamitri, Al Green. Is Al Green on? I thought he was in London. Maybe he was on A&M.
He might have done a later track later on, but his main stuff was on London.
Joe Jackson, I forgot about him. I used to like his album, Nazareth I've mentioned, the Police have mentioned. And then there's the acts that were not on A&M over here, but were on America.
Well, you just said one, didn't you? Nazareth.
Yeah, and then I've got
Queen. Run through, they were never on A&M here.
Yeah. And according to this, Queen, Elton, T-Rex and Quo were all on A&M in America. So
Elton can't have been for long because he's mainly on MCA.
Okay, unless he was his early albums, I don't know. Hang on, no, it mentioned it might have been one of his soundtracks because it was A&M stroke something else, so it might have been one of the soundtrack albums he did.
Oh, right. Friends don't know that all.
Oh, I just realised another one we both forgot that we both used to really like in the day, the Stranglers. I know United Artists, don't they?
Yeah.
So why have I got them written down here?
Because you've been at American versions.
Yeah, I've looked at the wrong page. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Well, that shows how much research goes into these shows.
I think we picked up some good music, and you're going to do a playlist of.
Yeah, I'll do a playlist of
the singles and perhaps a track from each of the albums or something.
Yeah, I mean,
although Cry Tough is not on Spotify,
isn't it?
No.
All right.
all I could find was a live version of For Your Love.
I might have to use that then, but I'll make up for it by putting all three songs from the Gallagher and Lyle album.
Yeah, that's a must.
Well,
yeah.
Well, this is a sort of a test for us listeners, because we, as you normally know, we normally just do audios. This is our first full-on video with us both in it, and it may be a little bit wonky. We may be out of the middle of the frame. We may not be completely right, but we'll hopefully
I'm sure
learn
it's
from this
worse.
one and get it right next time.
There's worse videos out there than our ones, so we're going to try and improve it, sort of. Anyway.
Yeah. We can just look at this one and just figure out next time how we should position ourselves. But until then,
and nothing,
no
comments about strategically placed paper bags over heads either.
Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so we can make more videos. And we will try and come up with a catchy entrance thing like "Ahoy there" or whatever, like everyone else does. I think everyone else has used them all up so far, but I'll think of something. But until the next one, we'll see you. We'll hopefully see you in about a week's time.
Yep. See you.